If you've been looking at purchasing a home in the Central Texas area and you're wondering why your monthly payments are a little bit higher than you expected, it may not be the price of the home, but actually the property taxes. While the state of Texas does not have a state income tax, it does make up for it in other ways, like property taxes. And this can be a really big surprise, especially if you are relocating from another state or area.
Absolutely. Today we'll break down property taxes in the Central Texas area. We'll cover how to calculate them, how to budget for them, and what to expect in your monthly payment.
Hi, I'm Andrea Dudek, local real estate broker and expert here with Jacob Studdard, lending expert in the area. And today we'll be covering really everything that you need to know when it comes to property taxes.
Let's do it. So why do property taxes matter? Property taxes matter because they're going to be a major part of your total mortgage payment.
And since the state of Texas does not have a state income tax, they rely on other things like property taxes to fund things like schools, roads, police, fire, libraries, etc.
So how are property taxes calculated? Property taxes are calculated by taking the county's assessed value and multiplying it by your tax rate. That's going to be the annual tax bill on that specific property.
And I'll give you an example of where to find that estimated assessed value here shortly. But each area, each county, each city, they're going to vary in their tax rate. So you might have some areas, Temple, Belton, Troy, Salado, inside of city limits, outside of city limits, all these different things. I'm not really sure if there's a method to the madness, but they'll range from just under 2% property taxes to even close to 3%. And that can really and drastically affect your monthly payment.
That's right. So for example, if you have a $400,000 house in a specific area, that tax bill might be around $7,200 a year. And if you have that same priced home at $400,000 in a different area, may even be in the same city, that tax bill can be well over $9,000. So it really just depends on the taxing area that home is located.
Which again can really affect your overall monthly payment. And while you can gather a lot of this information to give you an idea, really the best thing you can do is to reach out to me and we can figure out which home you are most interested in, or maybe a couple homes in a couple of different areas. Jacob can give us scenarios. We've had plenty of times where I've sent him an email, said, hey, these are the homes that my client is interested in. This is their estimated purchase price when they're looking to close, and he shoots back, here's their estimated closing costs, cash to close, and estimated monthly payments on a side-by-side, so the client really gets the full picture on what they're purchasing.
Exactly. We try to be as transparent as possible, and it's much easier to give the proper expectations when there is a specific house you're looking for. That way we can tailor your pricing, all the estimates needed for that specific property to make sure it fits your budget.
Okay, Jacob, so what's included in someone's total monthly mortgage payment?
Yeah, so your total mortgage payment is going to include your principal, your interest, your property taxes, your homeowner's insurance, and if you have it, also your mortgage insurance.
So someone's property taxes, how are those paid each year?
Yeah, so there's going to be set up what's called an escrow account. So the lender is going to set up an escrow account on your behalf. Your property taxes and your homeowner's insurance are going to be placed in that escrow account. Every year on or the date on which those property taxes and homeowner's insurance is due, your escrow account will pay those on your behalf.
Okay, so something I've seen come up a lot, and I've actually been seeing it recently on TikTok and Instagram, is lenders not escrowing enough in new construction. And so, initially we know that if you buy a brand new home, initially the county is only assessing on essentially a vacant lot. They're only assessing on raw land. And then next year, the following year, they readjust to now tax on home.
That's right. Yeah, so when new construction can get kind of funny. In the beginning, the lenders will do their best job as best as we can with the local taxing areas to estimate what your tax rate is going to be the following year once your county assesses or reassesses the value of your home now that the home is built. In some cases, we can, in the beginning, we can have the escrow account set up based on just a lot. Now, We will only do that if you have the understanding that the next year, your property taxes are going to adjust based on the county's reassessment of the home's value.
But that's definitely going to be a conversation that's had or should be had, and something you want to look out for if you are purchasing a new construction home. I know me as your realtor, I'm looking at that for you. Of course, I'm not a lender, but there are things that I know to look out for, and I want to make sure that your monthly payment is going to include, like if I see that the property taxes and what's being escrowed are incredibly low, I know our property taxes are high here. I'm going to say, if you're not using Jacob or someone that I know that's local and reputable, did they have the conversation with you about when this is reassessed and they're now assessing on a full property versus just the land? Because one of the worst things you want is to go from a, $2,000 mortgage payment to a $2,500 or $2,600 mortgage payment. Those are not fun surprises.
Yeah, not fun at all. And we try our best to mitigate that and communicate that to all of our clients in the beginning so the expectations are set.
Home exemptions and other discounts. And so Texas, we do have those property taxes that are a little bit higher, but there are exemptions that you can file for to reduce your property taxes. Those include a homestead exemption, over 65 exemption, and exemption for VA disability.
That's right. So if you're a veteran, you have a service-connected disability, there are exemptions through the state of Texas in place to alleviate your property taxes.
Okay, and we're gonna actually head on over to Belcad, which is our local appraisal district, so I can go ahead and show you where you can find some really helpful information on how those actual exemptions work, because they all work a little bit different, as well as how you can apply for them. Okay, as promised, I'm going to go ahead and show you the appraisal district for this area. This is going to cover most of the Temple, Belton, Killeen, Salado, Troy, surrounding areas. You pop a little bit into Coryell, Milam, Williamson, Travis as you get further out. You can always call me or do, look up the different appraisal districts. But this is going to be the main one for the areas that I serve here in Central Texas. So you can go to belcad.org. Really great information here. Two things we're going to cover are doing a property search so that you can see taxes, and then you can also look up information on exemptions. Let's start with property search. 1210 Burger. Just put in the address here. And if it's public information, which most of the time it is, unless it's a protected individual, a police officer, things of that nature, they can request to have this information be private. But generally, you can see an address, search by an address or property ID. Click on it, and here you have your property address, market value, appraised value. You have your assessed value. So what you want to be paying attention to here is the assessed value. You can come on down here to estimated taxes due, and you can see the tax rate currently on this property. 2024 tax rate and what those taxes were. This home, you can come up to exemptions, and you'll see the homestead exemption is the exemption that they currently have on this property, which that reduces the taxable amount on their home. So that's how you do your search there. And then if you head on over to the home page, property owner information, exemption information. This is where you will find so much helpful information in terms of the different exemptions you can file for based off of your scenario and any details you might need. And then of course, in the forms here are the places that you can file them. So it starts off with a homestead exemption, how to qualify, when to file, and when you can file. You can also come down more, and you have your over 65 exemption and the disabled veteran or survivors of a disabled veteran. So really great resource. Check it out. Hope it's helpful. We're going to end this with some tips for buyers. Number one, check the current tax rate. You can do this yourself by heading on over to Belcad, but more easily, you can reach out to Jacob or myself. Oh, probably Jacob, and you guys can run a certain scenario, get the most accurate information in terms of assessed value, taxes, and what that overall scenario in terms of your monthly mortgage is going to look like, tailored to you.
Another tip that we have for you is please do not rely on the online websites. We won't name any names, but there are online websites out there that don't have or don't always have the most up-to-date property tax information and other payment information. And nothing is worse than having to walk all that back and set the proper expectations based on the real numbers of the specific house you're looking at.
The biggest tip is going to be speak with a local expert that knows the market, that knows where to find the information, who to connect you to, so that you're not surprised. And quite honestly, leave it to the pros. This isn't your job. It's our job to make things easier for you, to make the process seamless, and to give you the most accurate information.
That's right. We're here to serve you. We're here to make things as smooth and as easy as possible for you and keep things as transparent as possible so that the home buying process is super simple and super painless.
So if you have any more questions on property taxes, buying in the Central Texas area, financing, lending, anything real estate related, you can reach out to Jacob or myself. You can find all our contact information in the details below. And if you found this information helpful, don't forget to like, subscribe, and click the bell notification so that you can stay up to date on all things real estate here in Central Texas. Till next time.
Perfect.